473-0411 for a free estimate. A call can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenock.
Kool, the greatest songs, 105.7.
Back on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network. Hey, before I get into the meat and potatoes of the show, I got to give a shout-out to my travel agent, Chuck Riss, over at Tri-State Travel. Chuck just moved locations. He's now over on 15th Street from Winchester Avenue. But Chuck texted me yesterday, and he said, okay, he said, either you're living right or you got a really good travel agent. I said, I'm going to go with the latter. But my wife and I, we just scheduled our second cruise after we got back from our cruise that we took during spring break. And we got with Chuck and everything scheduled, so we're headed off to Curacao and Aruba next June. And he texted me yesterday. He said, so your cruise, for whatever reason, just dropped $1,900. And I was like, wow, that's phenomenal. And again, people think, like, why do you want to use a travel agent? It's for situations like this right here, because Chuck monitors this stuff. He keeps up with the latest stuff. He can give you insight of how these things work and everything. So if you're thinking of doing a big excursion, such as a cruise or an out-of-country vacation or even in-the-country vacation, and you don't want to deal with all the grind of having to do all the accommodations and the bookings and trying to keep up with price changes and so forth, that's where a travel agent comes into play. And I'm telling you, Tri-State Travel, Chuck Harris, check them out. He will take care of you. Chuck's a great guy. He knows what he's doing. He has first-hand experience from all this stuff. So the question of ever is, why do I need a travel agent? It's for something like that. Having that travel agent saved me $1,900. So take care of the people. Again, support the local businesses. Chuck's one of the local guys, and he's a great piece to have for my family and I, for us to do our traveling with in situations like this. So always a thought process. But, yeah, just moved off of Winchester Avenue over to 15th Street. So give Chuck Tri-State Travel a call if you're looking for travel needs. All right, 16th Region baseball and softball. No brackets still. We will not have those until later today. The baseball brackets will be set at probably around 10:30 this morning. You can follow me on social media at Collier SZ Live. I will have those posted as soon as I get a hand of those, along with the time. We are expecting times to play at 10, 1, 4, and 7. That's typically the 4 time slots that we use whenever the regional tournament plays on Memorial Day Monday. Now, again, last year we were moved up, and we were done before Memorial Day. So this year they moved everything back. I really wish they hadn't, because it's messing up my fishing. But either way, we've got Monday baseball, Monday softball. So here's the way baseball breaks down. So the 8 teams in the field for the 16th region. Out of the 64th district, Boyd County beat Ashland by a final score of 2-1. Boyd County goes in with the best record. They're tied for the most wins with Raceland. Boyd County's 29-3, 8-1 in the region. Raceland 29-7, 15-3 in the region. In the 62nd district, it was East Carter with no problems in their title game. They beat West Carter 12-2 in 5 innings. Now, that was a 3-team district, Morgan, West, and East. So Morgan fell to West Carter, and then West Carter fell to East Carter. So the Raiders, they come in at 19-6. West Carter at 9-15. East Carter is a very interesting team. They are senior heavy, and Jeremiah Shear knows that this is the year that if they've got it, the goods, this is the year to do it with it. They hit the ball top to bottom. They've got some really good pitching. They've got arguably one of the better arms in the 16th region, Andrew Tomalonis, and Blake Hall, who is just absolutely knocking the cover off the ball right now. So I think if you look at East Carter, the one thing you have to consider is the fact of they have the ability to put the ball in play. They don't have to be perfect pitching because they can score runs. And that's something that you get this time of year. You need a team that can go out and manufacture runs. And that's what I think makes this East Carter team a very dangerous team. It also makes it very susceptible with the fact that you've got a couple of guys that can go out and sling it. But then after that, you've got a couple of guys that pitch. So Andrew Tomalonis, 7-2 record, a 1.53 ERA over 45 and a third innings of work. Tate Scott's thrown 34 innings, 5-0 record, a 1.24 ERA. After that, the lowest ERA they've got is Colton McGuire at 3.29. So after you get through your two dudes, of Tomalonis and Tate Scott, Raiders will start giving up some runs. Now, on the back side of that, through their 24 contests, East Carter's pushed across 216 runs. That's just shy of a 10 runs a game. That gets it done most nights. So they clubbed 10 home runs, all of those from Blake Hall, 55 doubles, 6 triples. So the Raiders, they know how to manufacture things, and especially if you can get extra base hits, it makes it much easier to manufacture runs. So don't sleep on the Raiders, because I think they've got an opportunity to be in this conversation. In the 63rd District, Raceland defeated Greenup County in their championship game down in Lloyd 5-2. So the same thing with Raceland is their strong suit is their pitching. They've really been struggling hitting the ball as of late. Against Greenup County, they pushed out 10 hits. Caden Shore went 3 for 4 with a double. Zane Bailey pushed out one of the double, but everything else was there. Of their 10 hits, they had a home run from Connor Thacker. That kind of set the tone at 2-0. This was the most hits they had in quite some time, though. But on the backside of that, you've got guys like a Braden Webb, a Caden Shore, that has been lights out for Raceland. So that's something that I think makes Raceland very dangerous. The other side on Greenup is you've got a dude there that when he takes the ball, he's not going to wow you, but he's going to find a way to strike you out. He's going to find a way to get out. And if he can get some good defense behind him, Greenup County's a tough out in the first round. Whoever draws Greenup County is going to get Casey Gammon. And Casey Gammon is one of the best pitchers for his age and in the conversation of one of the tops in the region, just because of the way he can grind and gut through things. He battled through a very tough game against Russell. He was not feeling the best of the world that night, and he still went out and did what he had to do. So keep your eye on Greenup County in that first round. I think they're a tough matchup for several teams, and Casey Gammon is a tough out no matter who you're playing. So that's what you've got from there. On the 61st District, it's going to be Rowan County and Fleming County. And a crazy situation here. Fleming County beat Bath County 1-0, and they got no hit. No hit. Fleming County says they have one hit. The other side, I was told, was no hits. But either way, you get one hit or no hit, and you still win 1-0. Now, there were a multitude of walks and errors in the game from Bath County, but Fleming County took out what many people, and including myself, have talked about. Bath County was not a team that you wanted to run into in the first round because they had two dudes that could sling it. And they were not a team that was going to make a run. But they were a team that was going to force you to have to throw one of your dudes that maybe you thought, okay, I draw out this team, I can save somebody for the semifinals and the finals. That wasn't going to be happening because they had a couple of guys that they were going to force you to have to throw your best. So the region dodges a bullet with Fleming County taking out Bath County. Now, Rowan County took care of Fleming 11-1 in the 61st District. But Fleming County, looking at their pitching, Adam Hargett leads the way. He's a 4-4 record with a 2.26 ERA. Preston Cropper at 3.73, and it just keeps rising from that point. So if you're looking for a draw of which team that you want to draw to keep yourself out of trouble. Those district champions, you're reaching in there and trying to draw out that gold and black. You're hoping to draw out the Panthers. Now, nothing against Fleming County, but if you had to rank the teams coming in, arguably, I think it's easy to say that Fleming County's number 8. So if I ranked my teams going into the tournament, here's the way that I would line them up. Boyd County 1, Raceland 2. I think East Carter 3, even though that Rowan County has a 28-7 record. I think East Carter is 3, Rowan 4. Then from that point, I would go with Greenup at 5, Ashland at 6, West Carter 7, and Fleming County at 8. So we'll get the district alignments coming up in just a little bit for baseball. They're meeting at 10 o'clock this morning. Okay, over to softball. So in the 64, Boyd County beat Ashland 6-2. Some may say this was a little bit of an upset. Some maybe say Boyd County's hitting its stride at the right time. Boyd County 19-7, Ashland 15-16. Ashland again has kind of hit a lull at the end of the year. They lost 4 of their last 5. The only win they got was a 12-2 win in the district opener against Fairview. But they lost to Pulaski County, Raceland, and Russell. So limping in maybe are the Kittens, and more importantly, they're limping in while hosting. So that makes it an interesting intangible, to say the least. The 63rd is still up in the air. Greenup County and Raceland still yet to go. Raceland looking for its first district championship since, I believe, let me double check here, I believe it was 2018. Because Lewis County has had, 2018, they beat Russell that year 16-8. Lewis has had a stranglehold on the district since 2019 because of Emily Cole. So Raceland looking for their first district championship since 18. Greenup County looking for the first ever. Greenup has never won a 63rd district championship. They have not been to the region since 2014. So a big opportunity for the Musketeers, and more importantly, to do it on their home field, which is huge. So we'll see how that one plays out. I'll be on the call today, 2 o'clock from Greenup County today, with the Musketeers and the Rams to square things off to round out the regional field for softball. In the 62nd district, East Carter and Elliott County, the Raiders, no trouble in that district title game. They blow up Elliott County 13-1 in 5 innings. They cruised past Morgan County 12-0. 62nd district this year, it was no secret. It was arguably the easiest route of anybody in the 16th. It was East Carter and everybody else. Derek Calhoun's crew, they've got a couple of good pitchers with Peyton Rice and Stephanie Tussey. They hit the ball well. They filled it pretty well. They've had some injuries that's kind of maybe taken them away from possible things that they could do, but still a solid year. 25-6. Rowan County at 24-8. Raceland leads the region in wins at 28-9. Greenup County got to that 21 season, but went over Lewis County in one of the craziest events I've ever seen in my life. 16-0 in 2.5 innings, and there was only one extra base hit during that period. Lewis County really struggled that night from the circle. A lot of free passes, 5 walks and 3 hit batters to be exact. But Greenup County just went station to station, a couple of back-to-back two RBI singles, and it was 7-0 after one. They put 9 up in the second, and they cruised into the regional championship round and a district title appearance with a 16-0 win over Lewis County. That ended Lewis County's bid at a 5th consecutive district title. The crazy side of this, that was Chad Case, the head coach at Lewis County. That was his 100th career as a skipper for the Lions. Unfortunately for him, that's a way that you don't want to remember your 100th game, is getting absolutely shelled in the district championship. But either way, nobody wants either one of these two teams. These are two teams that arguably have, I think, a great opportunity to win a region championship. One reason about that is because of the way they hit the ball. Raceland and Russell got in a duel. It went extra innings. Raceland won it in 8, 3-2. they've got a seventh grader in Lily Poplin that's in the bottom half of the order that she just gets timely hits. And usually those timely hits turn into timely home runs. She smashed a 2-run shot in the second inning to put the Rams up 2-1 in that game against Russell. Shelby Gauls, an eighth grader, batting in the 9-hole spot. She came up with a clutch 2-out RBI single in the eighth. And then, of course, you've got your big sticks at the top of the order. Brenna Wellman leads things off. Peyton Mackey follows with her. Those are the table setters for Callie Vance, who's arguably one of the best sticks in the entire region, and followed by Devana Grubb. And then Devana Grubb has been pure in the circle for the most part. She could give up some runs, but at the same time, she usually gets run support. So the problem with the Rams, and Scott Atkins and I talked about this after the game, they left a small army of runners on base against Audrey Patel. Now, that speaks a lot about Audrey and her ability of what she does from the circle from Russell. Rachel left 10 runners on base. And I would say, I didn't look at the number to be exact, but I would say over half of those, or maybe even pushing close to 75% of those, were left in scoring position. And in postseason, you simply cannot have that big of a discrepancy. You've got to find a way to get your runners across. And Rachel didn't do that, but it did just enough to get it across. Now, when you look at Rachel and Greenup, there's going to be runs scored in this game. And it's not because anything on the two pitchers. It's just you've got two of the best hitting teams in the region. Your head is going to be on a swivel in this game. The outfield is going to be a popular place. There's going to be some well-struck balls in the infield. But the outfield is going to be busy. The fans who sit along the outfield fence, and listen, this place is going to be jam-packed. There is nothing else going on today. Everybody's going to be there because, again, tensions got high the other night. There was a lot of fans that were uneasy, rightfully so. This is a fan base. It's no secret. They do not like each other at all. And tempers started flaring. Some emotions took over that got a little ugly. But either way, this one's going to be a fun one to be a part of today. Again, if you can't make it down there, it'll be on Kool TV. One thing they did say is if you were in attendance for that game, in case you missed this, your ticket that you purchased on Wednesday is good for today. So you do not have to repay to go back to the game. So if you bought a ticket Wednesday night and did not, obviously the game didn't play, your ticket Wednesday night does get you entry into today's game. So keep that in mind if you were part of that. Okay, 61st District, Rowan County and Bath County will play. Bath County is your region champion, knocking off the Bath County is your district champion, knocking off the defending region champion, as Bath County won that one 3-0. Kenny Williams has got his club playing really well. He's a great dude. He gets the best out of his crew. Kylie Hodgson's their main arm in the circle. 21-7. She struck out 133, only walking 18. Just over a 2.5 ERA on the season. They swing it at a 363 clip. I have not seen Bath County play this year. And it's one team that I'm excited to see. I've seen everybody else, but I did not get to see Bath County play this year. So it'll be interesting to see what they bring to the table. Meanwhile, over on the other side of things, you've got Rowan County. After Larry Sloan took his team with a deep run to the state Final Four last year, Caitlin Muncie takes over as the new head coach. Has done a really good job. 28-9. They had won 5 consecutive going into that district championship with Bath County, but they come up short, 3-0 there. Bath County, they had, look for their games here. They lost the game in the 2A sectional 7-6. They beat them at home in Moorhead 12-4, and they counted that sectional game as a district game as well, and then lost 3-0 in the district championship. So, me setting the field, I'm going to go with, man, this is tough. I'm going to do it this way because, I could sit here and battle back and forth between this one for a long time. Your 4 top-tier teams, Rowan County, East Carter, Graceland, Greenup. I think those are easily your top 4 teams, and I think any of those 4 teams have an opportunity to be in the mix. Bath County is right there on that borderline. You look at where they are; they're 26-8. You could probably even throw them in that conversation there with those top 5. And then your other cluster, you've got Elliott County, Ashland, and Boyd County. Now, nothing against Ashland and Boyd County. They could get hot and make a run. But I think that there are 5 teams that have a chance of making a run in this thing. And I think those 5 teams are the 5 that I gave you. Could Ashland or Boyd County make a run in this thing? Absolutely. But I don't think they're at the same level that the 5 top teams are. And you can make an argument of all 5 of those teams, Rowan East, Racing, Greenup, and Bath, of why they are fittingly to make a deep run in this tournament. It's all going to come down to a draw, okay? So your district champs, you got Boyd County, East Carter, Bath County, and then whoever wins out of Greenup and Raceland Day. And here's the thing. If you're a district champion, it doesn't matter which team loses today. You don't want either one of Raceland or Greenup. Nobody wants that matchup. But that's what we're going to find out, which one it's going to be and who does that whenever we get to the draw meeting later this evening around 5 o'clock. All right, let's take a break. We'll go to Major League Baseball. We'll check all the scores from around the league last night, as well as take on those standings as we continue here on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network.
If you're looking for a complete discount pharmacy with old-fashioned service and excellent prices, look no more. Since 1979, Stultz Pharmacy has provided our area with the finest in pharmacy care, 24-hour emergency prescription service, free delivery, and drive-through service for prescriptions. Stultz Pharmacy continues to fill all of your expectations. They carry a nice selection of gift items. For hometown service, see the professionals at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
River Cities Builders is a licensed general contractor specializing in commercial and industrial projects, and they have a history and reputation of providing top-notch expertise through their experienced and devoted workforce. River Cities Builders also is a gas facility maintenance company offering petroleum equipment maintenance and EMV compliant upgrades for smart payment terminals, and they offer 24 hours, 7 days a week emergency service. Call 606-473-4112 or visit rivercitiesbuildersinc.com.
Quality Marathon gasoline, great monthly specials on snacks and beverages, and fantastic service. Those are the qualities of Clark's Pump and Shops. You'll find a Clark's Pump and Shop near you in the Bluegrass State and beyond. And Rick and Brent Clark want you to know that they take pride in giving you the best prices and service, and they thank you for your patronage. Clark's Pump and Shops are a division of the John W. Clark Oil Company. Clark's Pump and Shops. Return, refresh, refuel.
JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup, has been family owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat JD Flooring's price. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call JD Flooring in Greenup. 606-473-0411 for a free estimate. A call can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup. Cool Hits weather is brought to you by Big Sandy Superstores of the Tri-State. For all your furniture and appliance needs, see Big Sandy today.
Cool Hits weather.
Get your Saturday started out with some clouds and then scattered thunderstorms later on this afternoon. Maybe some gusty winds and small hail, high of 84. Scattered thunderstorms this evening, then partly cloudy skies overnight, low of 64. Cloudy early on Sunday with scattered thunderstorms developing later in the day, high of 85.
Cool Hits 105.7.
Cloudy with a chance of death. That's what my producer makes the world sound like. He's always, just Debbie Downer. He went to Nashville, and somehow he made it back. I don't know how. I totally forgot about him going there. I would have called the Costa and reported him for breaking state borders. I don't know. Him in Nashville, that's kind of funny. He needs a cowboy hat and a big belt buckle. I could see. You could put Dwayne in a 10-gallon hat so you could cover him up all the way. It looked like one of those cartoons where they hide underneath it. You could put him in totally underneath that. So, all right, Major League Baseball scores around the Bigs last night. It was Tigers over the Blue Jays 6-2. Pittsburgh roughs up the Atlanta Braves 11-5 in Pittsburgh. All of a sudden, the Pirates, Paul Skeens comes in, all of a sudden they've got a little bit of buzz around them. They're still 4 games under 500, but trying to claw themselves back into what's going to be a very tight National League Central race. Nationals over the Mariners 6-1. It was the Royals beating the Rays 8-1 down in Tampa. Cincinnati gets a grand slam from Jonathan India. 9-6 winners they were last night over the Dodgers up at Great American Ballpark. Graham Ashcraft gets the win. He goes to 4-3 on the season with a 4.67 ERA. The Reds were out hit 11-6, but more importantly, they get the runs when they need them to get the win at home. They're 9 games under 500. Giants with a remarkable come-from-behind win over the Mets. They win it 8-7 up in Citi Field. Twins won better than the Rangers 3-2 in Minneapolis. It was the Red Sox falling at home again to the Brewers 7-2. I wish they'd cancel every freaking game at Fenway Park. The Red Sox suck at home this year, and it drives me crazy. They're a game over 500, and they cannot win at home. You'll hear, when I give you the standings here in a minute, you'll see where it is. Cutter Crawford got roughed up last night. His ERA is still under 3, though. But I don't get it. The Red Sox have been nothing less than dismal inside of Fenway Park this year. Orioles over the White Sox 6-4. It was the Rockies beating the Phillies 3-2. Bryce Harper got ejected early in that ball game for the Phillies. Guardians over the Angels 10-4. The Athletics, they have cooled off. My hopes of them making a postseason run for the final year in Oakland is gone. They're 21-32. They fall to the Astros 6-3. Marlins blanked the D-backs 3-0 in Arizona. It was the Yankees taking care of the Padres 8-0. Juan Soto, I should say, his first at-bat after going back to San Diego, he blasted a shot as the Yankees got 10 hits in that game. Carlos Rodon with the win, 6-2 on the season for the Bronx Bombers. Cubs, Cardinals, they were rained out. They will make up that game on July 13th. All right, standings in the Big. Here's the way it looks. The Yankees with the best record in the American League. They're 36-17. They've won 8 of their last 10 consecutive. Yankees are 18-8 at home. They're 18-9 on the road. They're 11-7 on teams above 500. So, I mean, all of those numbers speak to the credibility of what the Yankees are. They're not fool's gold. They are 36-17. They are one of the top teams in all of baseball. The Orioles, 31-18. They cooled off a little bit. They're 5-5 over the last 10. 3 games behind the Yankees. Red Sox, 26-29. They're 9 games off the pace of first place. 5-5 in the last 10. 16-11 on the road. They're 10-14 at home. That's why I say cancel the rest of the season at Fenway and play every game on the road. The biggest thing, though, is that the Red Sox are 9-17 on games of teams over 500, and that is not a good stat. And I just don't know what the Red Sox plan is, of whether it's probably going to be dull and mundane when it comes around to the trading deadline, or are they going to spend some money, which they need to, and try to go get somebody that can actually do something for this team? Or are they just going to say it's time to blow it up? We suck. We're going to go out, try to get some young arms, try to get some people in here, and then try to rebuild things. Honestly, I don't know. I do not know where things have gone so awry for the Boston Red Sox, and as a Red Sox fan, it's so frustrating to major market and feel like we're in the same type of market as Cincinnati. It's like they only want to buy dead arms that are way past their prime, and even when they get them, they don't know what to do with them. And you know, still one of the biggest acquisitions that they let walk away was Mookie Betts. They should have paid that dude. You look and see what the guy is doing in L.A. He was worth every penny. And you can't tell me, well, if we did Mookie, we were going to probably have trouble doing Raffy. You're Boston. The freaking Yankees have an all-star lineup. Why can't you? Spend the money. The front office of Boston, I don't understand. It drives me crazy. Either way, moving forward. Cleveland in the Central. They have a game-and-a-half lead over Kansas City. Indians is 34-17. The Royals 33-19. I think the Royals are easily one of the best stories in baseball this year. Easily one of the biggest surprises. They're 21-8 in Kansas City, and that's big. But they're taking care of some business on the road. They got a nice road win last night down in Tampa. Minnesota 27-23, and they're kind of like the Red Sox. They've been about even kill across the board, whether it's on the road or at home. Detroit, 3 games under 500. They pulled off significantly. They've lost 7 of the last 10. They struggled at home too, 11-14 up in Ford Field. In the West, Seattle leads the West at 27-25. They're the only team over 500 in the West. The Rangers have lost 8 of the last 10, including 5 consecutive. They're 4 games under 500. Houston is 5 games under 500. Then the Athletics and the Angels at the bottom. In the National League East, the Philadelphia Phillies with the best record in baseball, 37-15. They've got a 6-game lead over the Braves. Phillies 22-8 at home, 15-7 on the road. They've only played 10 games against teams over 500 though, in those matchups. So I think it's pretty safe to say you're going to see the Phillies take a shot at making a run in this thing. The Atlanta Braves are 29-19. Again, Spencer Strider, losing him takes a lot of what the Braves had because they had a phenomenal 1-2 punch with Strider and Max Fried. So can they find enough to kind of limp into the postseason and maybe make an acquisition at the trade deadline? That'll be interesting to see. Nationals, they're 5 games under 500. Mets and Marlins round things out. In the Central, the Brewers are 9-21. Cubbies are 2.5 off the pace. St. Louis 5.5 back, 3 games under 500. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati follows, with the Reds rounding out the basement at 21-30. And then the Dodgers, 33-20, a 6.5 game lead over the Padres, who are even 500 at 27-27. The Giants, they've won 7 of their last 10, 3 consecutive. They're also at an even 500 at 26-26. Arizona and Colorado follow to round out the West. All right, that's a check of scores and standings around Major League Baseball. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll dive into the NBA playoffs, conference finals, both series at 2 games to none. We'll talk about it when we return after this on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Net.
If you're looking for a complete discount pharmacy with old-fashioned service and excellent prices, look no more. Since 1979, Stultz Pharmacy has provided our area with the finest in pharmacy care, 24-hour emergency prescription service, free delivery, and drive-through service for prescriptions. Stultz Pharmacy continues to fill all of your expectations. They carry a nice selection of gift items. For hometown service, see the professionals at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
River Cities Builders is a licensed general contractor specializing in commercial and industrial projects, and they have a history and reputation of providing top-notch expertise through their experienced and devoted workforce. River Cities Builders also is a gas facility maintenance company offering petroleum equipment maintenance and EMV compliant upgrades for smart payment terminals, and they offer 24 hours, 7 days a week emergency service. Call 606-473-4112 or visit rivercitiesbuildersinc.com.
Quality Marathon gasoline, great monthly specials on snacks and beverages, and fantastic service. Those are the qualities of Clark's Pump and Shops. You'll find a Clark's Pump and Shop near you in the Bluegrass State and beyond. And Rick and Brent Clark want you to know that they take pride in giving you the best prices and service, and they thank you for your patronage. Clark's Pump and Shops are a division of the John W. Clark Oil Company. Clark's Pump and Shops. Return. Refresh. Refuel.
JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup, has been family owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat JD Flooring's price. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call JD Flooring in Greenup. 606-473-0411 for a free estimate. A call can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup.
The Tri-State's Cool Hits 105.7.
Back on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network. Over to the NBA Conference Finals. In the West last night, it was Dallas taking a 2-0 lead over the Minnesota Timberwolves with a 109-108 come-from-behind win to take a commanding lead back to Dallas. Minnesota has sucked at home. you looked at what they did in the matchup in the semifinals. They got beat in both games at home, then went on the road and won both games on the road, and then it was back and forth. But last night, they led this game 60-48 at halftime and got outscored 61-48 in the second half, including 30-22 in the fourth quarter. Luka Doncic was remarkable again last night. 32 points, 13 dimes, 10 rebounds. The man is a triple-double machine. This is his fourth triple-double in 5 games. The last time that happened, every person that's done this before him has gone on to win an NBA championship. He's got his name in there with guys like Wilt Chamberlain, and rightfully so. Luka is a remarkable player. This dude is phenomenal. He is a cheat code. And last night, he took Rudy Gobert to school when he hit the game, what resulted in being the game-winning three. There was 3 seconds left after his shot went down. But Luka last night, 10 of 13 from the field. He hit 5 3-pointers. He was a perfect 7 of 7 from the charity stripe. That gets it done on most nights. But he had some really good help. Kyrie Irving, 20 points. He had 13 of those in the fourth quarter, though. Maybe struggled from the field a little bit, 7 of 16. 6 assists last night, only turned it over twice. And I think it's big when you look at your numbers for your point guard. He's got a 3-1 turnover to assist to turnover ratio. And I think it's big. I'll talk about Kyrie in just a bit. Gafford was 16. P.J. Washington had 10. They got 14 from Derek Lively, the second off of the bench. Minnesota, though, they were pretty much non-existent for the most part. Anthony Edwards struggled mightily last evening. He had 21 points. Naz Reid was the guy who led the Timberwolves, and he came off the bench and dropped in 23 in 32 minutes of play. Mike Conley had 18. Karl Anthony Towns had 15. Towns really struggled last night. 4 of 16 from the field. He's 1 of 5 from 3. Only had 7 rebounds. Rudy Gobert, a double-double, 16 points, 10 rebounds. And then Jaden McDaniels poured in 2. That's one of your starters. At 2 points in 36 minutes as a power forward. Claimed 5 rebounds. That's not production. And hence the reason probably why Reed got the opportunities that he got last evening. Now, the series shifts to Dallas now at 2-0. Meanwhile, you go for Boston tonight. They go to Indiana with a 2-0 lead after somehow starving off an upset bid by the Pacers in Game 1. Jason Tatum hits a clutch 3 from the corner to force overtime. And that gets the Celtics into the extra period. And then you get the Celtics to just take over in the extra period, and they win at 133-128. The Game 2, Celtics easily over the Pacers, 126-140. Jaylen Brown with 40 points in that game. And here's the thing with the Celtics. They have not been pushed at all this year. And now you've got Indiana that is up against the 8 ball because Tyrese Halliburton strained his hamstring in the second half of Game 2. And I don't think he's going to play in Game 3. The Pacers have not lost a home game in the postseason. They're very tough to beat at Indiana. The Celtics are only a 57.6% favorite tonight, according to ESPN Bet. A 6.5-point favorite in the game. But I think maybe Indiana gave the Celtics a much-needed wake-up call. And again, the Celtics didn't have a lot of games this year they got pushed in. So having Game 1 where they had to, on their home floor, overcome adversity, they were looking at a 1-0 and home court being snapped right out of the gate, coming back, forcing overtime, and then taking over in the overtime period. That was huge. Now, the biggest thing, and I've said this before, that the biggest thing with the Celtics was when they made the decision to get rid of Marcus Smart. Because when you get rid of Marcus Smart and you basically say, okay, now it's Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. It's your guys' team. You've got Drew Holiday that kind of works in there as a facilitator. But you've got two dudes now. And my son and I, we talked about this the other night. In game one in the overtime game, if Marcus Smart is still on that team, the Celtics never have a chance to get that shot off. Because Marcus Smart is either going to, one, turn it over, or he's going to try that shot for the game winner. And now everybody knows who is the dude. It's Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And the fact that the Celtics are still doing what they're doing without Kristaps Porzingis makes it even better. Because now you've got a commanding 2 games to 1 lead, or 2 games in the lead. Porzingis, they were talking about, could come back for game 3. I don't know that you need to bring him back yet. Because maybe you mess up some of your flow. Now, if he's ready to come back, then the Celtics drop game 3. Okay, working back in game 4. You're going to need him for the finals. Because I think, and I've said this since the beginning of the conference semifinals, I think it's going to be the Celtics and it's going to be the Mavs. Because the storyline is too perfect. Kyrie Irving and the Boston Celtics. Kyrie Irving all of a sudden has become a model citizen for whatever reason. And now it's like he is the poster child for NBA point guards. And everybody's talking about how great he is. Maybe the fact of it is that he finally got into a system that allows him to do what he needs to do. And it's not always be that dude that has to come through at every single moment. Because he's got a guy named Luka Doncic who is around him that can be that every single night when you need him to. And even when you don't need him to, he can still do it. Luka is Superman. Kyrie is Batman. Now, Tatum and Brown, take your pick, because one night one can be Superman and one can be Batman. Or, for lack of a better, maybe, I'm a big Superman guy, okay? For lack of a better way, Batman and Robin, okay? They can trade hats. But I think it's going to be the Celtics, it's going to be the Mavs. It's going to be a phenomenal finals if it is. But I think that is going to be the biggest key. If that series happens, the Celtics have to have Kristaps. Because he's a guy that can guard Luka. He's long, he can stretch things, he can go out with Luka when Luka tries to stretch the floor. And it allows the Celtics to not have to, try to figure out who they're going to put over on him to be able to, whether they're switching, they're helping off, they're doubling, whatever. Because, don't get me wrong, Al Horford has been phenomenal in the postseason for the Celtics. And the Celtics are not where they are right now without Al Horford. And Al Horford is not going to guard Luka. So, Game 3 tonight in Indy, 8:30 this evening. Celtics are a favorite, as they should be, but not a heavy favorite like they could be. But without Tyrese Halliburton, that is going to make things very difficult for the Pacers. And I think if he does not play, I think the Celtics win this one comfortably to take a 3-games-to-none lead. Does it get back to Boston? If they get 3-0, they need to put the foot on the throat and close that thing out in Indy. Get a chance to rest everybody, be healthy going into the championship. This is the year the Celtics have to hang a banner. Anything less than that is a disappointment. But the Mavs are certainly going to try to make a go at it. Here's the thing. In the Mavs series, though, Minnesota, do not be surprised if they go to Dallas and win both games there. Minnesota, though, I think is feeling the pressure for the first time. They've got a lot of young guys. Anthony Edwards is, feeling that pressure of being the dude that has to step his game up to another level. Now, the thing I love about the Timberwolves, and the thing that I've said so much about the Timberwolves this year that are scary when they play, is when they lock in defensively, they can be one of the best teams in basketball, bar none. And those dudes love to play defense. The question is, can they do it enough to win a game? They have to win Game 3. They cannot fall behind 3 games and unbound. They do, it's over. Same thing with the Pacers. But the Minnesota Timberwolves have the ability to go to Dallas and win 2, and then force this into a best of 3 games. I fully expect this series to go 6 or 7. I think Minnesota bounces back with a Game 3 win. I don't see the Pacers-Celtics series going past Game 5. I think the Pacers get 1 of 2 in Indy. The question is, though, if Tyrese Halliburton is not part of Game 3 and or Game 4, I think it's over in 4. They just do not have enough firepower to combat everything that the Celtics bring to the table. Tyrese Halliburton has got to give it a go if he can. And playing on a straight hamstring is almost impossible. But he is their only shot of keeping Indiana in this race going down the stretch of trying to take down the Celtics. All right, we'll take our final break. We come back. It's the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week. Can I take your order, please? That's when we return after this. Here on Let's Talk Sports on the Kool Sports Network.
If you're looking for a complete discount pharmacy with old-fashioned service and excellent prices, look no more. Since 1979, Stultz Pharmacy has provided our area with the finest in pharmacy care, 24-hour emergency prescription service, free delivery, and drive-through service for prescriptions. Stultz Pharmacy continues to fill all of your expectations. They carry a nice selection of gift items. For hometown service, see the professionals at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
River Cities Builders is a licensed general contractor specializing in commercial and industrial projects, and they have a history and reputation of providing top-notch expertise through their experienced and devoted workforce. River Cities Builders also is a gas facility maintenance company offering petroleum equipment maintenance and EMV compliant upgrades for smart payment terminals, and they offer 24 hours, 7 days a week emergency service. Call 606-473-4112 or visit rivercitiesbuildersinc.com.
Quality Marathon gasoline, great monthly specials on snacks and beverages, and fantastic service. Those are the qualities of Clark's Pump and Shops. You'll find a Clark's Pump and Shop near you in the Bluegrass State and beyond. And Rick and Brent Clark want you to know that they take pride in giving you the best prices and service, and they thank you for your patronage. Clark's Pump and Shops are a division of the John W. Clark Oil Company. Clark's Pump and Shops. Return, refresh, refuel.
JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup, has been family owned and operated for over 30 years, featuring top-of-the-line material, guaranteed installation, and absolutely no one can beat JD Flooring's price. Need to replace your current flooring in one room or the entire house? Call JD Flooring in Greenup, 606-473-0411 for a free estimate. A call can get your house ready for any occasion. You'll absolutely love your new flooring from JD Flooring, 2017 Ashland Road, Greenup. Cool Hits weather is brought to you by Big Sandy Superstores of the Tri-State. For all your furniture and appliance needs, see Big Sandy today.
Cool Hits weather.
Get your Saturday started out with some clouds and then scattered thunderstorms later on this afternoon. Maybe some gusty winds and small hail, high of 84. Scattered thunderstorms this evening, then partly cloudy skies overnight, low of 64. Cloudy early on Sunday with scattered thunderstorms developing later in the day, high of 85.
Cool Hits 105.7.
Time for the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the Week. Borders Sporting Goods US 60 in Canonsburg for all your hunting and fishing needs, as well as those Liberty gun safes to the good folks at Borders Sporting Goods US 60 in Canonsburg. All right, so there is a huge sale going on at Borders right now. As you know, the tackle box over in South Point went out of business, and Borders has taken a lot of their leftover inventory and brought it in. And they have got some massive sales on pennies on the dollar for stuff. Right now, catfish rods and reels, combos and individuals, they are ready to go out the door. Brad and I talked yesterday. I said, is it a blue light special? He said, yes. Kmart blue light special, stock up. So if you're, a pay lake fisherman, like to go out on the boat and catfish, whatever, you need some new outfits, go see Brad in the game. They're going to get you set up. They've got some great stuff, some really great deals on those. Go over and get those. Kayaks are being marked down. Certain Berkeley baits are on sale, including the Pit Boss and the Max 10. They've got tons of sales going on for the safes. The White Colonial 23 and 30 are marked down. Bare bones pricing on those two. Archery's also got a big sale going on. with crossbows and compound bows on sale with both Hoyt and Matthews on those compound bows, and then 10-point on the crossbows. So, Brad and the gang out there, look at you all squared away. Go see them. Again, they're not open Monday because of Memorial Day. So either get out there today, they're open until 6 today, or back on Tuesday, they'll be back at open on a regular schedule. Can I take your order, please? How stinking hard is it to go to a drive-thru, make an order, and get what you order? And then in the process of it, when you are asked to pull forward because they have to make something special, make what they're supposed to do. Well, this was a situation when I had to go to McDonald's to pick up some dinner for my son earlier this week. So we go through the drive-thru. I order his food, got him a sweet tea. My wife wanted an unsweet tea. So I order both. So I pull up, pay for my food. Of course, you always pay for your food first. Then you get to the window, and they ask you to pull forward because if you're sitting in their drive-thru window, you're holding up their drive-thru plus their time that goes against their average time. So when they pull you forward, they turn you off like that you're gone so that it keeps their average time down. So I pull up, and they say, we need you to pull up. We have to make a fresh pot of unsweet tea. Okay, whatever. So I pull up, and it's car after car after car after car behind me that just continues to cycle through. Yet I'm still waiting here for this unsweet tea. So we sat there for over 10 minutes waiting. Finally, my wife goes into the restaurant and gets the food and the two teas, the sweet and the unsweet. And we get home. She gives Trey his sweet tea. She goes to get a drink out of her tea that she's going to put in the refrigerator to take to work with her the next day, and takes a drink of it and looks like she stuck a lemon in her mouth. It's sweet tea. And it drives me to the nth degree of mad of how in society everything that we do is acceptable for just being okay. You know, there were 3 things in my order: 2 double cheeseburger, sweet tea, unsweet tea. You got 2 out of the 3 of them. That's 67%. 67% of the world of education is considered a D. That's below average. C is average. You're below average. And yet we find that acceptable. And you wonder why things in our society that we buy has terrible craftsmanship, always breaks, never performs the way that it is. It's because we have built ourselves into a world of mediocrity. You know, it's okay to be decent. We don't put the strive on being great. We got 2 of the 3 right. That's okay. No, it's not okay. Because your job is to make certain that the customer who is paying for something, and then you're going through a drive-thru of fast food, and then they have to pull forward and wait for 10, 12 minutes for an item that you had to specifically make, and then you screw it up. And I don't get it. Where did we go sideways in our society to the point to where mediocrity is just okay anymore? It's acceptable. It's okay to be average. And I don't know. I'm far from perfect. I will never be perfect. None of us are. But I try to always strive for that. And if I come up short, I make certain that I figure out why that I did and what I have to do to fix it. And it's just, most people are like, oh, well, I got 3 out of the 4, I'll take it. I got 2 out of the 3, I'll take it. We have to strive to do better. And again, that's another reason of why that I hate going through fast food, is because 90% of the time, it's people that they don't care. They just grab stuff, shove it in there. You may get what you asked for, you may not, but it's always the reason of why you should check your order 100% before leaving the drive-thru, because 90% of the time, it's probably going to be screwed up. That's the Borders Sporting Goods Rant of the week. Region softball and baseball starts up Monday. The last I was told, Region softball at Ashland Paul Blazer High School, we're going to play games at 11, 1, 3, and 5. All of those games on Kool TV. Monday, Russell High School, baseball, 10, 1, 4, and 7. The 4 games scheduled for Monday. Semifinals on Tuesday. They'll play the championship games on Wednesday. You can catch every game from the first pitch to the championship game for the regional title on Kool TV. We'll have links for each game. Every game will have its own stream, and we'll have everything going from start to finish and recording, and hope that the weather lets us play out the way that we want to Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I think we get through Monday, we're good for Tuesday and Wednesday as of right now, but you never know. It could always change.